All right, guys. So one of the biggest questions that people ask me are, what are the best damage units, as in DPS, in anime defenders? Now, I'm gonna be honest, guys. There's not a lot of information out there about the game, considering it's 32,000 player count. I checked the wiki, and unfortunately, guys, the wiki is pretty down bad. So if you guys want to help out the wiki, and let's get this popping off. Also, guys, we are doing a 1 million Robux giveaway when we reach 1 million subscribers. We are before the end of the year. We are getting very, very close. So hit the subscribe button if you want to be entered in to win 1 million Robux. All right, let's get on with it, guys. So I'm going to be showing you guys the best damage units. And then at the end, if you guys are pay to win and you get Almighty traits, I will show you guys the best units with the Almighty and Requiem traits. Now, I'm going to be honest, guys. Number 1 will surprise you. It has actually surprised me. But honestly, there's been some rumors in the community about this unit being OP, and it is true. So let's go. You guys don't want to know how much time I spent on this tier list. I mean, spreadsheet. Let's just say we got all the data. I was scraping tons of videos, calculating the level 60 damage. It was wild, but we finally got it. So let's start off with number 15, guys. The worst mythic in the game for damage. No surprise to anybody, but it is the one and only, yes, guys, Donut Master. You guys could probably tell. I'll max him out real quick. Let's just say his damage is not hitting at all, especially with that SPA. So I have him clocked in at 2,000 DPS at the max level. And the thing is, he only has 3 placement, which is very bad for a mythical, bringing his total max level DPS to less than 7,000, which isn't even close to the top of the list. Now, I will say, if you do give him Almighty, he is slightly better and does rank a bit higher. But if you give him Requiem or another good trait for multiple placements, he's one of the worst still. All right, guys, next up we have Elf Hero. This is a lot of people's favorite units, but I'm gonna be honest, guys, she is not actually that good. The reason being is her 3 placement that effectively reduces her DPS to only 75% of what it should be if she had 4 placement, but she's still not that bad. All right, so if we take a look on the list, I have her clocked in at number 14. All right, remember, guys, no, these numbers are a little bit off, so because of the title of the list. If you guys see here, this counts as the first row, so she's actually number 14. She has an okay AoE, but she is full AoE, so keep that in mind, guys. She is a full AoE compared to some other units, so this kind of does boost her a little bit. But here we go. But she also has like 11 SPA, which is crazy bad. 3 placement brings her DPS to 7,000. Now again, since he is a 3 placement unit, she is better with Almighty for sure. And with Requiem, she's hitting with 9,000 DPS. Next up on this list, guys, I was kind of shocked he's so low on this list. We have the Curse King. But again, the reason he's so low on this list is this 3 placement. If you get on Almighty on him, he is slightly better. Now, also, he is a bleed unit, and that is not factored into this DPS. So don't take this as advice not to bring him. Just remember, he's more used for the bleed, which is good for regen challenges. All right, I got him at number 13 on this list, clocking in with a 31 range. Circle AoE, though, which kind of sucks. Pretty middle of the pack SPA. 2,500 max level DPS. All right. And we got him in at only 3 placement, though, which brings his total DPS to 7,000. But he is more of an Almighty unit. So if you do have Almighty, he is then more middle of the pack. And then if you do have Requiem on him, he's kind of near the bottom. All right, next up, guys, we have another Ant King unlocked. Now, this guy is slightly better because of his 4 placement, but that means he's going to be worse with Almighty. So that is a little bit unfortunate. Now, also, guys, he does actually go from full AoE to AoE Circle Large. So that also does hurt his DPS. So keep that in mind. I have him clocked in at number 12 on this list. I know, not as high as I would like it to be, but it is what it is. I have him clocked in with only 26 range. Pretty low. Circle AoE, 21,000 damage, but that 11 SPA kills him, bringing his DPS per unit to only that much. Yeah, guys, this is probably one of the lowest on this list, but it's saved by the 4 placement. But remember, and then with max level total DPS, slightly higher than Curse King's, but Curse King's only a 3 placement. And he has bleed, so I would definitely say Curse King is a better unit. But and this guy really sucks with Almighty, but with Requiem, he's middle of the pack. All right, and then next up we have Skull Paladin. Yes, I was surprised he's so low on this list, but you'll see why. Now, I'm actually kind of sad for this one because this is one of my units. But the thing about him is he has a really nice line AoE and range. So that actually makes his DPS a lot better, but his raw number DPS, not factoring in his range, is not that great. You can kind of see his final damage and stats aren't looking too crazy good. So it is what it is on that. I have him clocked in with 55 range, which is absolutely insane. Line AoE, 15,000 damage, but that 8.1 SPA really hurts. 1900, yeah, pretty low max level DPS, but that 4 placement saves him, bringing his max level total DPS to 7,000, but he really sucks with Almighty, guys. You really want to get Requiem on him. It is a lot better. All right, next up we have Chance King. Yes, guys, he is very low on this list because he is a 2 placement unit since he's a secret. However, that means he is cracked when he has Almighty on him. So Chance King at number 10 with 36 circle, 40,000 damage, 10 SPA though, making his max level DPS 4,000, which is pretty good. But remember, he's a 2 placement, so that means his total DPS is only 8,000. Now, if you have Almighty on him, let's just say he's top 3, but good luck getting Almighty, guys, unless you got a lot of Robux, all right? And then 10,500 Requiem DPS. So really not worth it to get Requiem on him. You really want to get Almighty. All right, next up, guys, we got the Bear King. This unit is from Raids and ridiculously hard to get for number 9, so that kind of sucks. Full AoE, though, which is nice, and good damage, and good SPA. All right, honestly, not bad damage at all with 4 placement, meaning he's going to be a good Requiem unit. Honestly, probably middle of the pack to higher, and then Almighty DPS is very bad, so don't get Almighty on him. Go for the Requiem. All right, next up, we got Warrior Queen. I actually have her. She's actually only number 8 on this list, which kind of surprised me. But honestly, it also didn't, because the reason she's so low on this list is she's actually better than that because she has full AoE. So she's a really good DPS because of that full AoE action. So it is what it is. So unfortunately, though, compared to other units, it's a little bit tough. But because she's full AoE, I do recommend her. It's just her damage for bosses, etc., is a little bit less. But she'll hit all the enemies on the map, basically. So she's not that bad, but her DPS is lower because of that full AoE. I have her clocked him at number 8. Full AoE, though. Good SPA, etc. 4 placement, which is nice. Making her a really good Requiem unit, guys. Look at that. 11,000 with full AoE. Yeah, let's just say that is pretty cracked. So she's actually really good, but her DPS is lower because of that full AoE. All right, next up, guys, we got Mob. Everybody hates Mob, but he's number 7 on this list. Now, the reason they hate him is he's circle AoE. So I personally would go with Warrior Queen because she's got that full AoE. Damage, you know, kind of mid. 4 placement, though. You can see the damage is kind of middle of the pack. Honestly, guys, I would kind of skip this guy. I see why people don't like him. You might as well get the full AoE with only losing a tiny bit of damage. All right, next up, we have Prime Garp at number 6, guys. Yes, sir. He's low on this list, but he's actually really good because he's another full AoE unit. So the reason he has less DPS is because he's full AoE. So you guys can kind of see that. Really high base damage, though. Really, really high for a Mythic. And he does got that. I have him clocked in with 4 placement. And then we got a lot of damage, etc. And you can see he's really good with Requiem, 11,000, but not very good with Almighty. So he's a Requiem unit for sure. All right, next up, we got Thunder God or Sasuke. This guy's actually surprisingly high as well on the list too. But the reason being is he's a circle AoE unit, so he's not actually that good. But he does have a higher damage than a lot of the other units. And he's really good with Requiem because of his 4 placement. But he does have that really bad AoE. All right, next up, guys, we have Flame Dragon God. I want to say Natsu. Surprisingly high on this list as well. I got him clocked in with full AoE. So he's honestly kind of a secretly good unit. Now, the reason being is he has low damage, but a very nice SPA. All right. And 4 placement. So all of those combined make him a very, very good unit. And honestly, kind of cracked. So he's actually probably one of my go-to Mythic in the game. He got some really good stats. Wait, did I skip Igris? Oh, I think I skipped Igris, guys. So I skipped Igris by accident. Igris is one of the secrets. He's actually very good as well. I'll show you his stats. Full AoE, which is cracked. And he has that effect too. So he's honestly busted OP. And he's at number 4. So I have him really, really good on this list. But the thing is that 2 placement kills his normal DPS for normal players. But it's all made up for with that Almighty DPS, guys. His Almighty DPS is number 2 in the game. And he got that Requiem DPS of 12,000, which is really good. And then next up, we got the Pro Gamer, guys. And that means Proficient Sharpshooter is number 1. What? I bet you guys are confused. Now, the difference is circle versus line AoE. So, and damage-wise, it looks similar, but look at this. Slightly more damage because of the 4 placement, guys. So the 4 placement makes Proficient Sharpshooter better for normal players. Now, you guys can kind of see really, really good Requiem DPS. But look at this, guys. If I sort by Almighty DPS, it all kind of changes a bit. Now, of course, all of the secret units are on top again. Pro Gamer, Igris, and Chance King. They're all on top, with Pro Gamer being number 1. But Igris got that full AoE, so I personally say Igris is better. There you go, guys. If you're a normal player and you want to defeat bosses, Proficient Sharpshooter is going to be your go-to boss killer. Otherwise, I would go with Garp, Warrior Queen, and Natsu. They're going to be great for just like thinning out the total units. So there you go, guys. Those are the best damage units in Anime Defenders. Let me know what you think, and let me know if I missed any of your favorite units. And also let me know if I should start including legendaries as well on this list. But I'm going to be honest, it's going to be hard for me to find legendary max level DPS. And also, guys, if anybody knows the calculation, the difference between level 1 DPS and level 60 DPS, please comment that down below, because I could not find that calculation anywhere. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.